Hey, Dr. McMullen, our great new superintendent from Kaiserslautern, welcome to you, all of our fantastic teachers and principals, Principal O'Donnell, Dr. Hargis, Principal Parks, Principal Miller-Smith. What a great welcome back ceremony. And first of all, I would like to extend my sincere apologies that I can't be with you today. The number one reason is something that I'm sure all of you can understand, and that is I am dealing with my own first day of school for my little daughter, Nina, who is 5.5 years old, and she is starting school in one of our great local German schools today at this very hour. And since she is starting school in a new country with a new language, as hard as it hurt me not to be with you today, I just had to be with her and my wife on our first day opening ceremony at the Wiesbaden Montessori School. So first of all, my apologies for doing this in video, but I wanted to welcome all of you back from what I'm sure was a fulfilling, long and restful summer vacation. I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek because I know that a lot of the leadership and a lot of the teachers, even though you had some time off, were on email, busy preparing for what I'm sure will be an exciting school year. We've already got lots of changes, so just the shift to Kaiserslautern in terms of our superintendent and Dr. McMullen, that is a change. But you know, you don't have to look much farther than Clay Casern and the Heinerberg support area to know that there are other changes afoot, and Dodds is going to help us, as always, to navigate those changes. So on the Garrison side, you know, we've got the 5th Corps that deployed and returned from Afghanistan. They are still in the process of inactivating, and no sooner have they left than we now have the headquarters of U.S. Army Europe. That is over 75% here, living in Wiesbaden today. And so welcoming those students from Heidelberg, whether they're from the high school, middle school, elementary school, is something that you are all dealing with right now. So when I look at, you know, the number one challenge as it relates to the U.S. Army Garrison Wiesbaden, it doesn't have to do with any of those $500 million worth of construction projects. What it has to do with is what you are doing, and that is integrating our families here in the great Wiesbaden military community. So thank you for helping us navigate that change. With the change of units comes change in sponsorship for some of our schools. The 5th Corps is out. U.S. Army Europe Headquarters Battalion is in and helping out in our middle school. And I know between our great USAG Command Group, Dr. Hargis, and what the engineers are already doing at the middle school, that will just be a fantastic relationship with one of our great Dodds communities. We have other changes afoot as well. Herr Dr. Müller, who was the Lord Mayor of Wiesbaden, is out. Herr Gerich, Sven Gerich, is the new Lord Mayor of Wiesbaden, and I'm delighted to say that our first meeting as both Garrison Commander and Lord Mayor was at the Leonardo competition, where Principal O'Donnell and her team put together several wonderful entries into the Leonardo competition that not only got us on the map for a wonderful opportunity to show what our students are all about, but really created what I think is just a fundamental way forward in bringing the German and the U.S. student communities together. So Principal O'Donnell, thank you for that great start to Leonardo. I hope between that, future Leonardo competitions, and what each school will do to bond themselves with another German school will absolutely continue us down the path of creating good partnerships between U.S. Army Garrison Wiesbaden, the military community, and the city of Wiesbaden. We're off to a fantastic start. And Herr Gerich, the new Lord Mayor, is absolutely committed to his support for students, and so I'm glad that we have that wonderful partnership underway. I would also like to say a couple of thank yous, and I'll start off with your continued commitment towards getting our students prepared as it relates to reading. As I made my way around the school communities last year, each of you had some wonderful reading programs that really jump-started our students at all levels in embracing books and embracing learning through reading. But the thing that I'm probably most excited about, particularly since I have an engineer wife at home, is that you are all committed to expanding what our students are doing in science, mathematics, technologies through great events like STEM. My hat's off to the Army Corps of Engineers for what they continue to do to help us with STEM. But with my daughter in a German school system, I will tell you that the Europeans are extremely focused on mathematics, science, technology, even at the lowest level. And I know that no country can compete with what America does and with what Dodge does for our students. But we got to stay on the cutting edge. And staying on the cutting edge is embracing mathematics, science, technology, even for our youngest students. So my hat's off to you for what you're doing to make that happen, all the way down from the superintendent level through our principals and teachers. So thank you for that. The last thing I'd like to say is just thank you to all as individuals. So many different parts that make these great learning institutions run, from the superintendent all the way down to the administrators. You are just incredibly hard workers, and I know the work doesn't end when the students go home in the afternoon. In fact, for some of you, the work is only beginning. Grading the homework, preparing for the next day's lessons, you all have a tough task ahead of you. And every time that I go to student rallies or recognizing our honor students, and I watch from Heidelberg Elementary, where today we have 912 students enrolled, over to our high school or smaller schools. In a military sense, you as leaders are all like brigade or battalion commanders. You all have your units that you are involved in training, ensuring that their mission essential tasks are completed. You may not wear uniforms, you may not deploy as much, but you're every bit as the military leaders as we have in uniforms. That takes an awful lot of practice, an awful lot of skill, an awful lot of dedication, and each and every one of you have it. Dodge, like many of our other federal organizations, they are trying to figure out how to do more with a decreasing budget, and it really comes down to professionals like you that continue to take on increased mission, regardless of what you get paid. Continue to do it well, continue to do it with focus, and I am just thankful for each and every one of you that you continue to teach our next generation.